Hey guys, it's Duchess Braids here. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing my cousin Jada's hair. And before you guys start to judge and make comments, she has been struggling with hair growth and alopecia her entire life. And she asked me today to install a wig. So that's what I'll be doing. There is no other way to braid her hair back than add in hair, and there is going to be a little bit of tension, or it's going to look like there's some tension on her scalp. However, she doesn't mind, she doesn't care, she just wants her hair to look good. She has been dealing with this problem her whole life, so she just wants a style that's going to make her look good, feel good, and give her confidence. So we're going to be braiding her hair back, which is the routine for installing a wig. You guys have seen me do this a gajillion times. However, this is a new canvas, new hair texture, new hair type. So if you guys keep watching, there might be some lessons in here for you guys on how I get this done. And because her hair is already short and fine, these braids are not going to be too small because they won't be that big. So basically, I'm doing them to where I can still catch it. However, as big as I can go, because it's just no matter what, it's not going to be too big or puffy under the wig. So that's what I'm doing. They're a little bit more spaced out than usual. Um, a little bit more further back. But once this section is completed, you're gonna see how I slick her edges back into it and how I add the hair to make it look really, really nice. So now that I've completed the braid back section, I want to go ahead and oil her scalp. And this is just going to help any type of itching. It's for healthy hair growth and stuff like that. It's always a good practice to oil your client's scalp when you're completed the braid down. After that, I'm going to put some got to be glued gel on her hairline, and I'm going to comb it back into the braids. So I'm using my OG blow dryer. You guys know how much I love this blow dryer. I always brag about it. I'm probably gonna link it below because I just think it's like the number one blow dryer in the world. However, I'm using it on cool to cool the got to be glued gel down, and then I'm gonna put the stocking cap over, and I'm using like a sheer stocking cap, really thin, one, and it's like a new method that everyone's using now. And I'm gonna tie it at the top. It's gonna leave a little bulb, but the bulb is not gonna really get in the way of anything, so I'm gonna do that, cut it off, and then I'm gonna go in with the same method. I'm gonna spray it with the got to be glued freeze spray and wait for that to dry, or I'll blow dry it. But because I'm doing a closure and not a frontal wig, I'm just gonna um, partially glue it down, and then I'm gonna sew around where the closure would go. So this is not a frontal wig that I'm doing, it's a closure wig, so only part of it is like has the mesh. So I don't need to put an entire frontal stocking cap method on her head. So that's what I'm doing, and you guys are gonna see how I do that. I do hate that the top of that bulb is in that area. I really hate that that happened. However, things happen, but like I said, it didn't make a major difference in the style, and you couldn't feel it, you couldn't see it. So it's fine. It's just for me, I just would have rather it had been at the back or not be there at all. So now I'm gonna go in with, I think, color 12 or 13 of the Ruby Kisses. Um, and this is like a cream based makeup, and I always try to color match with the complexion of the client and then go in on the stocking cap. So now that everything is dry, I'm going to go ahead and cut all the excess cap off. I do not need it because, like I said, this is a closure and not a frontal. So I'm just going to leave the little piece that I need on her head. You really need the correct scissors when you are cutting cloth. This is a hair scissors that I'm using, and I'm clearly struggling because it's just not meant to be cutting this material. So make sure you guys have the right scissors for the right material when you're doing this style. So now I put the wig on her head, and as always, the wig is too big. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm not going to be cutting the wig, but I am going to be stretching it to fit her head properly, and I'm going to just sew it down. And then the back right there is just going to flip down. She's not going to really be doing much, or it's not going to show, or hopefully she's not going to be twirling her head around or doing anything crazy for it to show. So she'll be okay with that. I'm not going to cut it or do anything. This is something that happens all the time on a lot of people that buy wigs, and this is how I get it to fit properly and not be too loose in the middle. So I just kind of pull it down around the braid and go ahead and sew it down. If you guys are wondering what I'm talking about cutting it, if you haven't watched my ultimate detailed video on how to melt the wig, then you would know how I went ahead about doing that. So this is how the wig looks. It's not a promo video. I don't know who this wig is from, so I can't state. However, like, it looks really nice. I love this texture wig, and this is like a vacation wig. I think she was headed to Jamaica for this video, and this is how it turned out. So I put some mousse in it, and then I just combed it out, and this is the final look, you guys. This is like a quick preview of how it looks. She looks great. Her confidence is popping, and thank you guys so much for watching. Yes, go girl.